Hey, how's it going, everybody? Hope you all doing well tonight on this Friday evening. Today we have RubberDucks. Let's bring him on. Hey, RubberDucks, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hey, how's it going, man?
It's going. Oh,
Nice, nice,
sorry
nice.
about that.
Hey, no worries, no worries. So, tell me what's been going on, man. I know you've been switching between like Bison and Honda. Are we still running Bison today?
Yeah, I'm still running Bison.
Gotcha. So, what do you be? Tell me about what's been going on in your rank games and what you've been running into.
I actually had some replays. I just didn't send them to you in time.
No worries, no worries. So like, what do you think you're struggling with right now? Anything in particular, or you're not sure?
I'm not sure actually.
Okay, okay. So you've
I
been on
haven't
before.
done too many ranked.
Oh, so good.
I did a few, but not a lot.
Okay, okay.
Mostly was Geef.
Gotcha. Okay. So you've been on before, but for just to let you, just to remind you, I suppose, we'll get on. We'll run the first three real quick. We'll see kind of where you're at, what you're struggling with, and then after that, we'll do a little replay review. So I'll take a look at one of the replays we played, and then another one from one. I'll ask you to send it to me after our set. We can take a look at that. And we go replay review through that. Afterwards, if there's time or there's something you want to go into, we'll take a look we'll hop into the lab, take a look at some situations. Then afterwards, I think we'll run the first three. I know you've been on before, but I think we can just do the first three if that works for you. So if that all sounds reasonable, go ahead and queue up and we'll get started. All right. So as per usual, I'll be deafened in Discord. So good luck.
No problem.
Hey, Satora, Soup, Tenzi, Sil, Wukrit. Hope you guys are having fun out there in I think it's Boston, right? The tournament starts tomorrow. Pool starts tomorrow. So yeah, RubberDucks. I've been on a couple times. I think they've been switching between Honda and Bison. I think they're on the Bison now. So let's see what's going on. Nice. Needed a bomb conversion there. Oh, nice. Convert. Nice. Drive rush. Oh, roll back. Oh, did I throw? Oh, okay. I thought I pressed. Okay, so the first thing that strikes to me right now is that the meter management may not be there. Went into a couple of conversions, but they were a little low on drive, right? So in the event that you have low drive, I think you need to be going for meterless conversions, right? Oh, man. Capcom. Oh. Hmm. Oh, the parry, the tap parry, caught him on the recovery. Okay, so right now what I'm seeing is that there's a little bit of hesitancy in neutral. I think I'm just kind of walking them down. In a couple of meter mismanagement situations, they burned down that first round. So let's take a look how they do this one. Nice. Good mix. All right, throw loops. Ooh, went for DI here. A little bit tough. Good jump. Going for unsafe, or not, maybe not unsafe, but like that stand medium punch into something else that seems like it's getting interrupted by my mash. So let's take a look at the anti-airs. Okay. Alright, a lot of meter burn there for that. Then I think they were doing something there, because they got... Oh. Nice. Yeah, see? Oh, counter hit every time. Super. Oh. Okay. So right now, the biggest thing for me is that they are burning out. I think the meter management is probably the biggest thing. Putting themselves in a situation where it's difficult to actually come back, right? Because like once they're out of meter, they're not able to extend their combos and get bomb plants. Like this combo right here is really good, right? That's super good. They probably could have drill rush in, but this is better. You read the fireball, second bomb plant, good. Hesitancy in Oki there, unfortunately. Oh, no cancel. Good. Okay. I don't necessarily hate that decision because of the meter situation they were in. But, you know, I think that, like, using meter there in that situation, like, super meter is probably fine. They're able to put me in a situation where they could kill me in one more hit. Oh. Good cross up. Okay, that might have been a bit of a mistake. Oh. Okay. Oh. Oh, that was nice. That was nice. I don't know why that missed, but I'll take whatever. So anyway, I think like that round they actually did okay. Obviously they beat me, but I think like where they're struggling right now is probably in some of the meter management department. They're able to skip neutral pretty effectively, like with Drive Rush and Crusher and stuff. Oh, that was nice. I see right there that full burnout. Probably not what they needed to do. Nice. Okay. Might have been a D-Rev that they wanted there. Not sure. But yeah, that's probably the biggest issue so far is that they're burning out really fast. So we play more patient neutral game here. Let's see what happens. Oop. Nice. Yeah, see. I think they burned out every match so far. I don't know what's going on here. I know Capcom's been giving me a hard time. Oh. Oh, I forgot the dash. That's okay. So I think the really main issue right now is the meter management, to be honest. I think the rest of their game is okay. I didn't get too many knockdown situations, but I think they did alright Oki-wise. Let's bring him back on. Hey, man, what do you think?
That was interesting.
I
actually got one in.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what was going on.
Saw the lag. There was a small lag spike.
Yeah, I don't know if it's like I don't know what was going on there. Like it was weird because it would go to 4 frames and then all of a sudden it would just stop, but then it was okay. So I don't know.
Yeah.
So anyway, the biggest thing,
it bothered me once, but it didn't hurt me too bad though.
Yeah. I think it was mostly okay. I think the situations where it was lagging, it wasn't like. I don't think it would have made a difference.
Yeah, it wasn't like big decision making. It didn't really
it's
affect
usually
the
like
outcome.
in the middle of like you doing bomb plant, and I'm like, well, I can't do anything, so cool.
Right.
So I'm sharing in Discord right now. We'll bring up one of the replays, and then we'll go from there. So anyway, how did you feel during the set? What were you thinking for the one like you did well and you won a game? So what were you noticing or feeling while you were playing that? What do you think, if anything?
I feel more comfortable with my pressure.
Okay. That sounds reasonable to me. Let's see. Where's my replays?
I'm still working on neutral.
Yeah. I think, like I was saying, I think the biggest thing is like your meter management at the moment. That's probably the thing that's holding you back. I think everywhere else in your game was actually okay. So let's take a look at this second one, I think. Oh, nope, that's not the right buttons.
I remember how to bring up the stream.
Yeah,
There we go.
if you're in a disc, yeah, you got
I
it.
got it.
Cool. So we'll take a look at the one you won, and then we'll take a look at the game 4, I think. Actually, no, we'll take a look at game 2, game 3. All right, cool. So my replay list here. All right, so this was game 2. This was the one that you. Okay, the next one we'll look at is the one you won. This is, I think I got you 2-0 here. So let's take a look. So again, what I was noticing for the most part was that, again, meter management is probably the biggest thing. I think there's some decisions in neutral that could probably be better, but let's take a look. Alright, so that was good. So there it was pretty good. You did a drive rush low into plus frames here, right? So that's +2. And then I decided to press, right? So I tried to press something kind of big here on your minus frames because I had noticed that you were going for these kind of larger gaps in your pressure strings, right? So in the previous 2 games, when you had plus frames, you kind of went for like a larger button, like a stand heavy punch, something like that. So I was trying to be a little greedy here and try to interrupt you with a crouch medium kick, right? And you actually made a good adjustment here to use the light, so that worked out. What I'm worried about though, or what I would be worried about here, is that you use meter to do this, right? So if you take a look at how much meter you spent in the first 5 seconds of this game, right? So there's OD Crusher, which hits, so this is fine. Right? And then you get plus frames. Oh, did I misread that? Hold on 1 sec here. It's not plus frames, excuse me. I thought you had driver. My bad. Been a bit for me, I guess. So anyway, you go for the low here, right? Which is actually minus. Sorry about that stream. Which is actually minus here, right? And then I try to take my turn back with a bigger button, right? So if you look, I actually press a crouch medium kick here. And you interrupt me with your chained light, right? So this is actually pretty good. But the issue now is that instead of taking like a scissor kick conversion here or some smaller conversion like meterless, you end up drive rush canceling this, right? So if you look, now you're at less than 1 bar of meter here, right? So this will make it pretty difficult to continue extending Bison's pressure. And it's actually difficult now because you no longer have access to OD scissor kicks, right? So if you land a whiff punish into OD scissor, you, like normally like with Bison, right, you would land like some sort of whiff punish into OD kicks, OD scissors, and then you go bomb plant, right? And that's really good, right, for the spend and the damage and the follow up, because now I have bomb, you can drive rush, you can continue your pressure, but now you don't have access to that, right? So you go for this combo, right? You get the +2 situation now, right, after this hit. Right there, and I think you go for a throw, right? So it's just fine. I end opt for a delay tech. Oh, I don't. Okay, I take a throw here. So I just end up taking the throw. It's fine. Thought I delay tech there. I guess I was wrong. Anyway, so now, right, like the situation is still in your favor, and I think it's actually not the worst thing in the world because I just end up taking the throw twice. But right here is kind of dangerous, right? Because like right here, if I decided reversal or something else, and you no longer can maintain corner presence here, you'd be down to 1 bar and you'd be back in neutral, right? And now again, you don't have access to OD scissors or any of the other like tools there, right? So you actually do a good job here keeping me in the corner. Let's see how if and when I get out. Okay, so you go for DI here. I don't hate the decision if you're testing my reaction and see if I can react to it. I had been pressing buttons into you, so this isn't if this was a hard read, I don't mind this decision. But unfortunately, it gets blown up, right? So if you look now, right, your meter situation is pretty precarious, right? So you're okay here, right? And then you go for the driver DI here. It gets counter DI'd, so you lose another bar, right? And then now you're like in a situation where you can burn out. Now, if I just decide to DI you back here and take, I could have just burned you out. I think instead I opted to go for a side switch here with the intention of trying to burn you out the next interaction, right? So I favored the corner positioning over the burnout here. Was that correct? Maybe, maybe not. I think this is a little bit more conservative of a play, in my opinion. Taking the corner positioning here versus the guaranteed burnout, which puts you in neutral, but it's full screen, right? Like, I don't know if Ken has I haven't done a Ken like side switch conversion that takes meter, right? Some sort of side switch in DI, right? So anyway, right? So then you end up burning out here, right? So this is really bad now, right? Like your Bison, you don't have reversals in the first place. You have level 1, but now you don't really have any way to get out, right? Like now you don't have access to like D-Rev or anything here, right? So the meter management piece is what kind of got you in this position, right? The decisions that I made onto your opponent were kind of dictated by your meter in that situation, right? So to your credit, you get out, just jump, works. So here was something interesting that I noticed you doing a lot, and I was able to kind of beat you here. So if you take a look at this, right? So you do a crouching medium punch here. Oh. Right, so you land that. There's a crouching medium punch, right? Ken is -2. Or it says -2, but I don't know why it shows. Oh, okay. Interesting. Right, so there's when it hits. And I guess it's 0 because we recover at the same time, right? So let me just double check the frame data there 1 second here. Just to make sure I'm not lying to you. So that was crouching medium punch, right? So this is supposed to be... No, stand medium punch. Right. Yeah. So stand medium punch is 0 on block, right? So that's fine. So what happens here is I end up challenging you with a jab, right? A 4-frame move. So what it looks like you're doing is you're going from stand medium punch and crouch medium punch, right? Yeah. So what happens is that the crouching medium punch is a 6-frame move, right? So that means that my 4-frame is going to beat that 6-frame move if we're 0 every time. So I think what's been happening in your games, my guess anyway, is that you're able to do this string and people are just respecting it, right? So like you do the stand medium punch at 0, your opponent elects not to press, and then you get a free crouching medium punch from there, right? And you can drivers cancel that, or you continue your pressure, whatever the case may be. But if you get a counter hit or something like that, then you can go into scissors or whatever the confirm is for that, right? But this happened a handful of times during our set, right? So what I'll say here is that if you are noticing that you're getting counter hit a lot during your strings, like block strings, or in situations like this, that means that you have to either be okay with like your turn ending, right? If you're minus. If you're 0, I would suggest going into some sort of 4-frame move, right? Because if you go into a 4-framer here, right, you end up trading. And that may or may not be beneficial for you, but at least you don't get hit, right? Because for most characters that have like a good jab like this, the counter hit confirm here is into like a crouching medium punch, right? Or in Ken's case, crouching medium kick. So there's a conversion that can be had off the counter hit jab here that, you know, I'm getting for free basically because you're allowing that gap to exist, right? So something to keep in mind when you're applying pressure as Bison especially, because a lot of his stuff, you know, a lot of his pressure comes from the fact that you can continue pressing buttons and your opponent can't really challenge in some situations. If I had bomb plant on me, like definitely I can't press there, right? Because if you time it and the bomb detonates while you're doing your stand medium punch, I can't press, right? Because then you get plus frames after that detonation, right? So you have to make sure that your pressure like that is actually real, right? You can't leave gaps like that can get mashed on, right? Especially like in Diamond, people mash on everything all the time, right? Like it doesn't matter if it's plus, minus, if there's 0, whatever. There's a lot of situations where people will just mash, right? So, okay, here's the tough part though. Now you're in the Jinrai blender, right? Because you're burned out. You can't really back up under pressure because if you do, you get tagged just like this, right? Like you try to back up after this hit, right? And I just tag you as you're walking backwards. I don't even really delay the button. I just kind of go for it. Right. And then now, like, it's just a matter of me landing a whiff punch there, right? So if we had to break this game down and see where it actually kind of fell apart, if you will, it actually is pretty early, right? So this interaction right here, so even though you won both interactions, right? This puts you in a situation where even though you had the advantage in the corner, your meter situation is so precarious that like one mistake will put you into burnout, right? And then that mistake comes in the form of a counter DI, right? So you go for a DI here on the read that I was going to press something, and then you get counter DI'd, right? side switch, and then the burnout happens after this, I think. Right, like that. And then from there, it's like you have to manage burnout, and then you get put in the blender, right? So, anyway, that was unfortunate, is what it is. But that's how it ended up happening. Was that the burnout was kind of putting you in a situation where now you can't like get any extra. You couldn't extend any conversions you had. You couldn't like get into bomb plant or anything like that. So, yeah. That's game 2. Good scissors. Okay. Right. So here, right. It's actually not terrible. I think like for 3 bars, the damage is a little low, but the utility is not bad.
Yeah.
But the
I
issue
could have
is,
done a forward heavy.
yeah.
And
I was
into
gonna say you could have been.
okay.
There might have been a different conversion there. But what ends up happening here, though, again, is a meter thing, right? So you go for the D-Rev, you're down 2 bars, go for an aggressive option here, it lands. OD bar here, right? It might have been a slightly better conversion you could have gotten here, but the result would have been the same, right? You have bomb plant on, I'm in the corner, and you have full control, right? The issue, though, is that your meter is a little low, right? That earlier D-Rev into drive rush into the OD, like you spend a lot of the meter to get this position, right? So if I were to get out of this somehow, like that'd be really tough, right? So let's see what happens. And then I tag you on the reversal, right? So I'm not sure if there was something you were doing here. Let's see. Because that shouldn't have burned you out, I think. Oh, you went for OD. Okay. So you went for OD OD Crusher here, right? Probably try to get the bomb plant through. And then I just reversaled through the pressure, right? So as soon as I could get up, right, I just reversaled. So I think that was probably a bit of a mistake, right? Because your meter here doesn't.
A high risk gamble.
Yeah. I mean, and like, let's think about it from a risk reward standpoint too, right? So let's say you land that, like I press a button or something and I get opened up by that. You burned out for that conversion, and then you don't have any meter to extend, right? So I think the best you could do would probably be like a level 2, right? Like you could super potentially. But at either rate, if you supered, right, from that position, then I'm not going to be dead, right? I'll take a good amount of damage. Like it'll probably put me like here, right? Like level 2, raw level 2, bomb plant and all that. Like, bomb plant with the OD Crusher bomb explosion and then the level 2. That's a ton of damage, right? There's very little scaling there. So I'll probably take a ton of damage. But this is definitely not going to kill me, right? But then at the end of that, you're going to be burned out and you have no more super meter, right? Whereas I will have probably close to 1.5 or 4.5, 4 to 4.5 bars, right? Depending on, how long it takes for me to get up after the level 2. I would forget like how much meter it's going to take, right, off me. But it's going to take some meter off because it's a super, right? But I'll still have basically full drive to work with, right? So then from there, it's like, how do you manage neutral when you don't have your defensive tool, which is the D-Rev, or level 1, right? So now you have to deal with like drive rush pressure from Ken, right? A fireball drive rush, something like that. He's in your face, and you have to deal with a Jinrai blender, right? So, yeah, that would be best case scenario. Worst case scenario is you burn out for it, right? Like you burn out for it and you get nothing, right? And that's exactly what happened here. I went for reversal, assuming that she would do something like a button or a meaty button or DI. And then it ends up burning you out because you went for the OD thing and I just blew through it, right? So now this is tough, right? Now this is really difficult to navigate because even though you have super, I can just drive rush and try to bait it, right? And that's pretty safe overall from Ken's standpoint to do that, right? Right, so good challenge here, right? I think I went for like a crouchy medium kick after, and you were able to tag me. So, right. So you're doing some good. You're actually doing a pretty good job here of counter poking me as I'm walking up, right? So like you're able to stick a hitbox out and stop me from walking up. So this is actually pretty good. Again, the issue now is that you're trying to weather the storm until you get meter back, right? So good. I think you get a bomb plant there, right?
Yeah, I try to do a ball plant. Yeah.
Yeah. Right, and then there's that situation again. I think this might be a little bit of an autopilot thing for you. So just be aware again if you're getting counter hit there, you probably want to go into a 4-frame, right? Or just block potentially because I'm mashing here, right? So as if I'm mashing on 0, you could try to block, try to perfect parry that. or something else. You try backing off. Well, maybe not backing off would work here, but at least force a trade of some kind, right? If this is the situation you're in here. So. I navigated that. Unfortunately, I was able to DP that. And then you go for parry here, which is, I think, not unreasonable. Like, you made a decision, and I think that's fine. Unfortunately, I just went for the throw. Right, and then guess for game situation. Risky. Very risky. But it worked, right? I wasn't ready for it. I think I said on stream, I think you were going to super, and I just wasn't ready for a DI. So it was actually pretty risky, but it worked out. If I counter DI'd, obviously you're dead, so... Right, and then this whiff here, unfortunate, and then I'm able to jab through. So, again, I think like if we were to break down the game overall, I think the reason you had to play in the positions you were in from some of those was because you were burned out, right? If you had meter to work with, I think some of those situations changed a little bit. I have to respect D-Rev a little bit more, but without meter, I'm not too worried about getting hit, right? Because those conversions aren't going to send me across the screen. I'm not going to get like a ton of damage done on me and all that stuff, right? So, yeah. So what do you think so far? Let me pause here. How do you feel about that analysis so far? Does that seem reasonable to you, or what are you thinking?
That makes a lot of sense.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think like you can clean up some of that stuff's pretty easy to clean up. It's just or not easy. It's simple to clean up in the sense that you just have to watch your autopilot, make sure that you're not just going blindly into DRCs, making sure that your meter is in a position where you can do those things. But it's not necessarily easy, is what I meant to say, right? It's a simple solution for sure, but it's hard to implement because it's probably very well ingrained in your muscle memory to crouch medium kick drive rush, right? Right? Or like crouch medium kick drive rush and then you go into OD scissors, right? That's a lot of bar you're using for not as much damage. And like the reward is basically more or less the same had you not gone to OD scissors from drive rush cancel. Or the other way around, like you go into OD scissors, right? You don't necessarily need to spend any more meter there. You get the same reward, right? So. So this is the one you won. Let's take a look at what was working for you here, right? Yeah, save the meter, guys. Save the meter. All right. Good jump in. I didn't anti-air. See, this conversion is legit, right? Like, this is a 2640 for 2 bars, and you're going to get some bar back, right? So, if you take a look at this conversion, like, what is the result of this, right? You didn't have to spend drive rush to do this. And you get some meter back during because if you don't drive rush, your meter regains while the combo's going, versus if you do use a drive rush cancel, it won't, right? It'll pause your recovery until after the combo's completed. So this is a good thing for you, right? So you get bomb plant here, right? You're in a position now where you can use drive rush. You still have plenty of meter. You can use drive rush to continue your pressure, right? Drive rush into back medium kick or whatever that move is, right? Back heavy kick. What is that move? The one with a ton of plus frames. I think it's back heavy kick, right? Yeah, back heavy kick. You drive rush that, land that on block, right? You're like +5 or something, so you can just do whatever you want from there. So anyway, go from here. I think that's fine too. Dash up here to see if I'm going to do something, trying to block after this, maybe bait something. I don't mind this decision here. I'm stuck with a bomb plant, so I have to make a decision at some point, whereas you can kind of time your offense to when the bomb's going to detonate, right? So you can go for like a like a Psycho Crusher or something, force a detonation to get plus frames, and then go from there, right? So let's see what happens. Perfect, right? Like, you went for the OD Crusher, beat the fireball, ton of damage coming my way, right? Right, and then you take basically another quarter off my life, and I'm in the same position again. But it's worse now because you have Oki, right? Have to hold the pressure, and then here you get tagged as you're walking forward. So I actually just stick this button out because your pressure ended. I'm just hoping for the best. Right? So just remember that if I'm in the corner, like when your opponent's in the corner like that, they're the ones that have to take a risk, right? So I have to take a risk by doing that crouching medium kick. But I'm able to do that because my meter is full, right? So if you're able to continue your pressure on me and get that meter, like attack my drive meter, maybe that driver's cancel still goes off, but I might burn out for it, and then now I'm in a worse position, right? So you can see meter doesn't recover until after the combo completes, right? That was good. So I tried to cancel. I guess I wasn't in the window. So it is what it is. So it's good DI there. I think that, like, I have been going for a lot of the non-cancelable buttons, so I think this is a good read. Okay, so I don't mind this conversion so much. I think that it was a little bit heavy on the meter expenditure, right? I don't know if Bison has a better way to get into level 1 from that situation without meter, because you land the DI here, and if you look at your meter here, right, this is very close to burning out if you had done an OD move, right? Like you had a sliver here to work with. So I think that it may have been better meter-wise to conserve it as best you can, take the meterless conversion here, because if you think about the situation, right, let's say you take a meterless conversion from here, whatever that ends up looking like. Maybe it's like scissor kicks or some sort of whatever the conversion ends up being from here, right? Stand heavy punch into bomb plant or whatever, right? The number of interactions that you need to kill me doesn't change, right? So if you go for a meterless conversion here, my guess is that that 2,000 damage combo, $2,500 damage combo will put me pretty close to death, right? Like one interaction away. I won't die, but I'm in a guess for game situation after that, right? Now let's take a look what happens with the route you did take. So I would argue that I'm still about one interaction away from dying here, right? So even if my life was like actually, so you can see where my life is now, right? Like it's right here. But if you'd done a meterless conversion, I think my life would probably be closer to here, right? Like maybe I'd have a quarter life left, something like that. So, but on the other side of that though, you would have more meter to work with, right? And potentially the Oki situation that you're in might be better, right? Because after this level 1, Bison moves himself way back, right? Right, no Oki from here, right? At least not without spending, and I think you would burn out if you had drive rushed in, right? So, like, what I'm getting at here is that the combo route that you choose can dictate the flow of the game, right? So if you had gone for a different combo route that would have ended in some sort of Oki situation, then you put me in a guess for game situation, right? So now it's just basically, can I defend against whatever your Oki coming in is, right? So if you open me up, then I'm dead either way, right? Like you'd be able to cash out and kill me, basically. So the difference though is that the meter that you would have to do that would be more, so you would basically be able to defend a little bit better, right? So if the game doesn't quite go your way or something else happens, right, you'll have meter to work with. But like decision making wise, it's probably better to put me, your opponent, into a guess situation versus taking the max damage you could get out of that and then putting me in like a neutral situation, right? Especially when you're against an opponent that is winning more neutral interactions than you, right? So if your opponent, is beating you in the neutral game, then it's beneficial for you to put them in Oki situations, right? Because it removes like their skill in neutral from the game, right? They now have to play rock paper scissors with you. And the flip side is kind of true too, right? So if you're winning a ton of neutral interactions, you can take less Oki because you're going to win more neutral interactions, right? So you can put them in more of the disadvantaged neutral situations versus having to put them in Oki more often, right? So something to keep in mind as we go through this. Right? And then you catch me with the target combo here. So this is good. This is good air to air, right? And this is what kills me ultimately. So where did it go wrong for me in this situation here, right? So I got hit on this I missed this anti-air. Okay. And then from here it's just downhill, right? I get hit by the OD Crusher. Right, I'm able to get out. And then I lose to this interaction here, right? The DI. And then from there, it's like there was a chance here, right? Like it's pretty slim. I probably don't come back from this, but like I have a chance here, right? Like if this jump works, I get out, and I have you in the corner with less meter. Like I may be able to come back from this, right? But is it like guaranteed? No. But it's a chance, right? There's a chance I can come back, I can win more neutral interactions and come back here, right? Versus the other scenario I was talking about, you put me in an Oki situation. Yeah, there's still a chance you can come back, but at least you have a guess situation where you can win it outright, right? That opportunity is there now. Versus in this situation, you have to win another neutral interaction, right? So anyway, works out for here because you get the target combo, and can I say it was wrong? No, because it worked, right? Because you won. What I'm just getting at is that to be more consistent in terms of winning, I think like a way to do that is to put yourself in situations where you're advantaged, right? So put yourself in guess situations where you're the one on offense against, you're the one taking Oki, right? Because again, Oki just basically makes it such that they have to guess. And, if on offense, the reward for guessing correctly is way bigger than the reward for guessing correctly on defense, right? So, anyway. Moving on from there. Nice. Okay, good whiff punish. Oh, I missed another anti-air. Alright, so that's tough, right? So right here, I would have just taken the bomb plant. But instead you cash out almost, right? So like you look at your meter when you land this, you have less than 3 bars, so one driver's cancel is going to burn you out. And you go into like a max damage combo here, right? You actually kind of get lucky. Well, maybe not lucky, but like you build enough meter here to not burn out in this drive rush. And then you kind of autopilot, I think, into the OD scissor kicks here. Oh, it should have been bomb plant if you're going to go for that route, I think. Put me in a situation where I have to guess.
For my out there too.
Yeah, or, oh, is that what it was?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you were cashing out there, right? You wanted to cash out fully in that situation. So what I would say is that I think you didn't need to do that, right? And the reason for that is because of this situation right here. You're ahead, right? You don't need to necessarily win it now, right? If you had taken, right, bomb plant here instead of drive rush, right, you still put me in a disadvantaged situation. I have bomb plant, you can drive rush in now, right? And that situation will also leave you more meter to work with. So, right, from here, and you just go into heavy bomb plant or whatever it is from crouching medium punch, right? I'll take bomb plant here, and you'll have a little over 3 bars, and you can spend one of those bars to drive rush in for the meaty if you wanted to, right? And you'll have plenty of meter to work with overall, because you're on offense now, right? So as you land hits on block on me as I'm defending, your meter is going to come back, right? So it's regenerating while that situation is happening, right? So you're putting yourself in a better position to win the game, right? So from here, if you cash out, right? Let's say you cash out there, level 2 puts me 1 interaction away, right? I'm still not dead, right? I'm still not dead. And that puts you in a situation where I might have a chance to come back. Now, I don't think I don't do it, obviously, in this game, because I get hit twice. Right, I should have supered there, actually, got into a super route, because now, on the flip side, supering for me makes a ton of sense, right? So I'm low on health here. I'm behind in rounds. I have a full stick here that I can work with, and I just landed a hit, right? So I should have supered there because it puts me in a better position to win this round, right? So if I super you here, puts you probably around here, right? I do a nice chunk of damage, and I can probably try to drive rush in or do something else to try to continue the pressure, right? But for me, I can't take this with me if I die in this round, right? So I should definitely use it here, especially as CA, right? So didn't super again. Right. Oh, that's unfortunate.
I
Nice.
kind of froze there because I wasn't expecting it to do that.
I know, me too. And I think we both were like, mistimed. And then you land this, and you're like, huh. I just keep blocking because like I just got hit, right? So I'm assuming you're just gonna continue your combo. I thought I was dead right here, right? Because you can go to level 1, I think, from here, like gem.
I thought I was dead.
Yeah. So. Right, and then this jump works. Right? I don't DP it. I tried. Didn't come out. Ooh. And then you just crush her through the fireball read, right? So, again, it worked out. You're able to win. And you were able to do that because you were able to put me in a position where you did enough damage to where I couldn't really come back. Right, a couple of missed things here, like I missed this. That's the start of it. And then I get jumped on here. I miss your cash out, but it's okay. But like from here though, right? There was a chance that I could have come back, right? I had won I ended up winning the next 3 or 4 interactions because you don't have meter to convert or to defend with, right? And you're in burnout, so like Ken's pressure is safer to do. Right? I can put you in Jinrai Blender, I can just use heavy punches, whatever, right? So my suggestion there is to not put yourself in a position where you're giving your opponent an opportunity to come back, right? You're not putting yourself in such a disadvantaged state just for the damage, right? Because you were winning neutral interactions, right? You're able to jump at me, you're able to do that, so there's not really a huge reason to cash out every single time you align a combo, right? If it's gonna kill me, 100% do it. But other than that, like the number of interactions typically doesn't change all that much from interaction to interaction to win the game, right? Usually it's around 3 to 4, sometimes 5, depending on how many straight hits land during the game, right? For Bison especially, it's like 3 to 4, right? Because if you get full conversions, you get bomb plant, right? I have to guess on Oki, and then if you open me up a couple of times, that's it, right? You're able to just win the game outright. So, but you can put yourself in those winning positions more often if you have meter to use to continue your Oki pressure, right? So like routing into meterless bomb plant enders, right? Using drive rush, like 1 bar of drive rush to continue your Oki pressure, making sure that your strings are airtight or at least real when you actually do them on block, right? If you start doing these things, I think that your win rate's going to go up, right? Because you're going to find yourself in positions where it's like, oh, I only have 1 interaction to beat. I only need 1 more interactions to win, and I have 5 bars versus their 3, right? I have more drive and more super to work with, so it's like easier, more likely that you're going to win from those positions, right? So putting yourself in those positions will likely lead to more wins, right? So, so that's what I would suggest. So yeah, I ended up losing obviously, right, from there. So is what it is. Right, cool. So I don't need to watch that. So did you want to review one of your replays that from ranked session today?
I don't think I need to.
Okay. All right, cool.
I think that really just covers it.
Okay. Well, fair enough. Yeah, so these things I think if you were to implement them would likely put you into master, right? So that's kind of how Bison runs his offense, really, is that like you go for a whiff punish situation, or maybe you use scissors, whatever, you open me up, bomb plant, and then from there that's basically the party starter, right? You're able to drive rush in, continue with pressure, right? Go for like crusher and stuff to force the detonation to continue your pressure. So like these things are how Bison wins the games, right? You don't necessarily have to cash out every time. So, cool, man. So with that said, if you don't want to, if you don't necessarily want to review that replay, do you want to run another first 3? Would you be okay with another set?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Let me get you in the room again. All right, cool. So leave the mics hot. So what I would like you to try to do, and this is very difficult, so if you don't do it right away, I totally, understand. What I would like for you to try to do is when you land hits in neutral, try not to use drive rush cancel combos, right? Try to use OD scissors, try to use meterless conversions that end in bomb plant. You don't necessarily need to cash out every time, right? Or go into super. Go super if you want to, I suppose. Like, that's not a huge issue for you right now. But burning out is, right? So trying to stick to within, like, keep your drive healthy. Try to use meterless conversions if you can that result in good positioning. Or going into OD scissor kicks is also a good spend of meter in my opinion, right? 2 bars for that much corner carry and damage bomb plant, right? So I think that if you do those things, you'll find yourself with more meter. And if you find some more meter, you can actually go into more of, you can continue pressuring and not get burned out, right? So cool. Leave the mics hot, go ahead and queue up, and then we'll run it. Hopefully Capcom and CFN don't take shit the bed again. Nice. Nice. Oh. Yep. Want to watch autopilot. Ooh, caught the startup of the slide. Nice slide. Nice. Oh.
Oh,
Nice. Try to challenge in the middle of the scissors. Probably shouldn't do that, huh? Probably could have reversal maybe. Oh, nice. Uh-oh.
messed up. Almost.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Dead.
Yeah, I think if you got super there, it probably put you in a pretty good position. I think the burnout maybe wasn't ideal. But yeah, you had some pretty good conversions there. I think you're doing a better job overall. It's very difficult to break the autopilot. But yeah.
It's like the muscles go before the brain stops, I think.
Yeah. Nice. Oh, nice, nice, nice. Very nice. There you go. Oh, it's gonna hurt.
Oh,
Oh, that's unfortunate.
I got greedy.
Oh, no DP. Oh. Nice. Oh, level 3? Oh, yeah, that's good.
I'm carried.
Oh, nice slide. Oh, got caught in the jab. Counter hit. So that game was actually really good for you, I think. If you look at your meter management and combo routing, you did a much better job of maintaining your meter throughout the set, right? And it's probably taken away all the brain cycles from playing neutral, so it's like it's hard to do both. But I think it's you can see the difference, right? I have to play differently when you have meter.
Yeah.
Nice.
Was it bad of you?
Woo.
That's supposed to be a super kick.
I tried to reversal 3 times. And it oh, that's funny. Nice. Nice.
I don't know what happened there.
Oh, yeah. I don't know why a super came out, but sure. Oh. Oh! That was good. That was good. That was good. So I liked the usage there of the Devil's Reverse in that situation, right? Put me in a situation where I did have the guess. Kind of unfortunate my parry came out. You weren't able to throw it, and then the second parry, it happened, so... Oh.
Oh, messed up.
Oh, no. Oh, it didn't cancel? Nice. Oh. Ooh, one too many scissors there. A little too close in that last one. Oh.
Should have done that.
Oh. No cancel? Yeah, that's the downside of burnout. Jinrai Blender is absurd.
Oh, probably not gonna hit, but I'm gonna gamble it.
I don't hate that decision. Honestly, you have to do it, right? You're burned out. Like, if I do anything that, like a DI or something, you're going to die anyway. So might as well go for it and hope that I make a mistake. But you can see in the game where you maintained your meter a little bit better, right? You were taking meterless conversions and all that. You saw it changed the neutral game for me, right? Like, I couldn't just freely Jinrai you after that, right? So, like, since the neutral can stay on meter, that means I can't get away with some of the kind of BS that I was doing when you were burned out, right? And the game was a lot better for you, right? I think, like, you can see how it changed the interactions. You can see how you had the meter, you could cash that in for more damage if you wanted to, and you're able to put yourself in situations where you got plus frames, right? So you could just go into Crusher or whatever, right? So cool, man. So any last thoughts before we wrap up here? What do you think?
I think you covered everything pretty much. I'm
Okay.
definitely thinking a lot more about different things.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's
Mostly
a lot.
about the positioning where my combos leave me.
Yeah. I think, like, especially for a character like Bison, a lot of his kind of bustedness, if you will, ends up being because of the ability to have Oki after bomb plants, right? So you take meterless bomb plant mid-screen, you can drive rush in and continue your pressure for basically free, right? And I have to hold that pressure because you drive rush in with the plus frames, you cancel into like a bomb detonation move. Even if I block it, I still have to hold that pressure, right? I can't reversal necessarily. I can't try to mash out of it. So I think labbing some of those setups is going to be good for you. So take a look at the meterless conversions you get, like stuff off of like DI or like off of OD scissor kicks into heavy bomb plant, right? Like take a look at those common routes that you'd probably do all the time and come up with a couple of setups from that, right? So like you put them in the corner, you drive rush in, continue your plus frames, then go for like a block string of some kind that ends in bomb detonation, right? So those types of setups and situations are how Bison kind of makes his money, right? Like he puts you in that position, and then me as the opponent, I have to guess or find a way to hold all that pressure, right? Because all of it ends up being real in those situations. So, but again, all of that is dictated by your ability to not burn out, right? So if you have meter to continue your pressure, then that is how Bison wins the game, right? And in the games where you ran out of meter, right, you had to deal with Jinrai, right? Which is garbage enough already when you have meter, but in burnout it's absurd, right? So cool, man. So I think we'll call it there, unless you have anything else you want to ask. Any last minute things? Good.
Thank you.
All right, man. Yeah, always a pleasure. So yeah, I'll meet you on stream. Let's do the outro. So thanks for coming on.
And thank you.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. It's been Sit Down and Shut Up. RubberDucks been around a couple of times already, and I think they're getting better each time. I know that they, tend to what is it? I know they have an active real life, so it can be hard. But I think the device is doing really well. Anyways, it's been Sit Down and Shut Up. I run this through the Fight Rise Discord. So Fight Rise is a fighting game community focused on getting, it's a fighting game focused on Street Fighter 6. They do bi-weekly tournaments through their One Fight Stand series. So One Fight Stand is basically a Swiss tournament, so 7-round Swiss tournament. This season they've switched it into multiple pools, so you have a high master pool and I think it's like, I don't know what they're calling it for the other master pool, but it's basically 2 master pools for, I think it's folks are above 1600 and then the other is below 1600, something like, I forget what the cutoff is. You'll have to take a look at our Discord plug to look at that. There's basically multiple pools now. You get 7 rounds Swiss. It's a good time. You come in and get games, right? Run every other Tuesday. I think they had one last week, or was it this week? I don't remember. You have to check Discord. So let me plug the Discords in chat real quick. But yeah, it's a good time. If you're below master, they'll put you into another pool. There's usually a pool for non-master players. It's been less and less lately as people have been getting better, especially all the regulars that show up. They've been getting better and better, so they've been getting bumped up in terms of what pool they're in. But usually, if there's enough of the non-master players that show up, they'll be put into a round-robin pool. Usually 8 or 9 players. If that's the case, you get 8 rounds of Swiss, not 7 or 8 rounds of round-robin, right? So just as many tournament sets. It's a really good time. Good way to get tournament level experience, right? In sort of a more casual format. Because a lot of times for locals and stuff, usually ends up being a double elimination bracket. So like if you're newer or haven't really been to many locals and you show up and you go 0-2, then you're like, oh, I'm out of the tournament, right? Versus a Swiss or a round robin where you get to play 7 to 8 rounds of tournament level sets, right? So always a good time. They also do community showcase events through their Urge to Fight series. I do comments here for them every once in a while. So take a look at FightRise FGC, or sorry, twitch.tv/FightRise FGC. Take a look at some of the previous VODs there. They basically community showcase events, right? So taking folks from the community that have been grinding and getting better, and we get to showcase them on stream in exhibition matches. Always a great time. Commentary is always fire, so it's a good time. I think the other thing I'll plug is their Big League KO. So Big League KO is basically a league format series, basically put in a pool with similar level players within relative MR ranges or Diamond, I think, or not for non-masters, and you get to play basically a 8-person round robin tournament where it's spread out over the course of 4 weeks. So you get 2 matches a week. They're all 1st to 5s. So really hype event. League format, it's a month long, get to play a ton of matches, or a ton of games rather. Then after that, if you do well in the pool, there's a postseason where you'll be entered into a elimination bracket if you do well, right? So come check out the Discords if you're interested in that. Last thing I'll mention, if you're interested in sessions if you liked what I'm doing here, interested in a session like this for yourself, or interested in coaching in general, take a look at the Fight Rise Discord. There's a section for coaching, right? There's a couple of good coaches you can talk to. Satora and Jason Loserpants are the other 2 coaches that are doing actively coaching on Discord here. So if you like what I'm doing, or if you wanted to talk to those folks about trying to level up and get your game better, join the Discord, take a look at those channels. All the channels have instructions on how to join and queue up for a session for yourself. So if that is interesting to you, please join, take a look. We're all friendly, I promise. It's a good time. The other Discord that I'll plug here, I'm also part of the Newbie Fight Club. So the Newbie Fight Club is another fighting game community focused on getting newer players into the game. They run lobby nights every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, mostly Street Fighter 6. So Mondays is like a modern day. So if you want to are interested in modern, you can run modern. You don't have to, but it's emphasis is that. Wednesday is their traditional lobby night. So if you're new to the game, you want to get in, get some games, we're all on VC, hang out, it's a good time. And then Fridays typically end up being either some sort of freeform event. So I think lately they've been doing double elimination tournaments every other Friday. So you can sign up for that. I think they actually do Swiss too. So they do tournaments on Friday, changes the event. I know Flash, if you're watching, they change up the event and run whatever they feel like running. I think there's a schedule. I wish I knew what it was. I'll tell my head I don't. So if those things sound interesting to you, please join the Newbie Fight Club Discord. There's also a monthly modern that Flash runs. Flash is TO for for Newbie Fight Club. They run a modern tournament, so modern only tournament. So if you're a modern warrior, right, and you want to run modern against other modern players in a tournament setting, take a look at the modern monthly in the Newbie Fight Club Discord. So, all right, cool. Thanks again for watching, everybody. Appreciate your time. Support your locals, all that good stuff, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks again.